22, 23 knots, and we were reaching at 16 knots, and it was an incredible feeling of power that the wind was just pushing this 350 tonne through the water at that speed. It's just sensational.
It's so unbelievable that a great big boat like this can just be pushed along by 10, 15 knots of breeze and it just soars through the water. It's fantastic. It's an amazing feeling, really strong.
And Lang wants all the comfort of home and then some. He also wants the performance that one can get if you go to these extra lengths, and that's what's been incorporated in this boat.
It's a beautiful looking thing, you know, they're pushing a lot of water around, you know, everything's under load.
She's the best in the world of her class. If you walk up onto the foredeck of these boats when you're sailing along at 14, 15, 16, 17 knots, just the sheer noise of the bow wave, and you look up at the rig and the enormous expanse of sail area, it gives you a tremendous feeling of power. But back aft, it's just terribly comfortable and serene and a beautiful feeling of being driven over the surface of the sea by the wind.
This is like an incredibly sumptuous apartment on the water, and I think every aspect of contemporary style is included here.
It's magnificent. So it's outstanding. It's beyond whatever I kind of even imagined in the first stages of looking at the design.
Right at the moment, it has to be right at the top of 50-metre sailboats, without a doubt. It's got all of the innovation that's been developed over the years, and yeah, it's good. It's very hard to criticise it.
The quality of the construction of this yacht is, in its class, second to none.
It's awesome, you know, all the mechanism are a step up of the other boats, and yeah, I mean, I just think it's a beautiful boat. It looks fantastic on the water and performs really well.
Right at the moment, that is one very, very good sailboat by any standards. By any standards.
She's state-of-the-art in every way.
If you think Lang Walker is competitive in the world of property development, you should see him behind the helm of his Far 40 racing yacht.
Lang, we've always known you're pretty good in the property development business, but now you're starting to beat us up on the racetrack yachting. That's not on, mate.
I guess, you know, liking and enjoying racing and looking at taking on a project such as this, one of the key factors is you know, getting fast boats, and something that, even though this is a cruising boat, it's essential that it's quick and it's fast.
They liked a couple of boats they'd seen that we'd done before. Obviously, they owned one already, the first big boat, Kokomo.
If you looked at the boat that we had before, which was a 134-foot Dubois boat, which was a great boat, there was, you know, the cockpit level, then there was a saloon level, and then there was a dining room level. It actually cut the space down into three much smaller areas. So, in starting with a fresh sheet of paper, we said, how would it be if we had this whole cockpit level, saloon, dining area, all basically sitting on the one level, and I guess that was the premise. The other things, the amount of time that we tend to spend on the boat, is where can we get away from crew and you know, a little bit of privacy and our own space, and that's when we said, well, how do we get a flybridge into this? That'll just add another space. So, you know, that was the start point. And we wanted to keep it sleek, and all the lengths and the breadths that would give us those two fundamentals. And the overriding fact, of course, was that it had to be a pretty quick boat.
We have the benefit of being racing yacht designers as background, so I think we know what makes boats go fast and what might hold them up. So we have that background, and also to making them easily handleable, manoeuvrable and so forth.
Ed Dubois' final design for a new Kokomo was for a 52-metre, 340-tonne aluminium sloop with a 10-metre beam. Key features include spacious indoor and outdoor dining and living areas, all on the one level, and a flybridge above the aft cockpit. Accommodation includes an owner's suite, 4 guest suites, and 5 crew cabins for up to 10 crew. It's all contained in this sleek Dubois package that weighs in 65 tonnes lighter than its nearest competitor.
Ed and his team are very, very talented. I think they've nailed the design of these large sailing boats. They've been able to get sleek, fast lines, as well as bringing together really exciting interiors with the help of whoever the owner selects on the interior side. But I think the Dubois yacht people are a long way ahead of a lot of the competitors. And I guess they've really, in a sense, cornered the market. And I think they also, the name brings value to the brand on resale.
Dubois' contribution has been enormous. He has a tremendous amount of experience in designing these yachts, and I think that through Lang's insistence, he's designed something a little bit more special than some of his other boats. And I think that the Dubois guys know how to design really performing super yachts that have all the luxury that one demands, as well as the performance that a guy like Lang really wants to see. One of the big reasons that Lang and Sue chose Alloy Yachts was because they did a very good job on the last boat, and they had a good relationship with Tony Hambrook and all the boat builders there at Alloy Yachts.
Alloys have been working with Ed Dubois for a long time. They really do work well as a team, and I think that helps. They did an excellent job, and very efficient yard.
It's been really good. They're all perfectionists. The head of every department was always there for every meeting. And they mocked up cabins for us, they mocked up furniture. They're so proud of what they do, and they do it so well.
The fabrication skills would be as good as you'd find in Holland, and they're considered to be the benchmark, the leaders. Our design people, I think, are better. The people that do the interior design, electrical design and engineering design, I think are better. I think they are, because most of them are sailors in their own right, have a real passion for what they're doing. They understand exactly what they're doing, what we're trying to achieve, and they apply it.
It took a year to develop the design for this luxury super yacht, and 2 years, or 430,000 man-hours, to join 16 square metres of alloy plate weighing 100,000 kilograms into the 52-metre long hull. Welding the whole construction together required 220 kilometres of welding wire to create seams that are even stronger than the metal plates they join.
We have some owners that are not nearly as involved as Lang and Sue, even to the extent where they will call us up and say, I want a 150-foot boat, I want it to be blue, and call us when it's done. That's a far cry from the way Lang and Sue operate. They've been intimately involved right the way through, and I think that their involvement, the boat speaks of their involvement in every aspect: the interior design, the outside shape of the boat, the sailing characteristics of the boat. Every aspect of this project has Lang and Sue's signature all over it. And the fact that Lang spends his whole life building things, he understands the pressures, he understands the decisions have to be made, when they need to be made, and why they need to be made.
And we like them to be involved, because if we can clearly understand what they are expecting to see and we provide it, the quality is there, there are no surprises at the end of the project. And that's the last thing we want. We just want it to go smoothly, the owners to be happy, and to sail over the horizon and come back in 5 years and ask for another one. So that's pretty much the method we prefer to use. We have a limit on what we can comfortably get to the water, and that's around about a boat that's going to end up with a displacement around about 400 tonnes. Then there's the issue of draft. Because it's a sailboat and it draws something like 5 metres, we need to get it up in the air so that the keel won't run aground when we're getting it down the creek.
It really has taken 3 years. We had a year in the planning of getting the boat right with the various designs and you know, the architects and the whole thing. And then of course there was about 2 years in the construction.
Thank you all for coming out this morning to see this launch, and thank you everybody at Alloy for all the great work you've done. I named this yacht Kokomo. May God bless her and all who sail on her.
Kokomo's first voyage was about to begin. Down the creek and emerging majestically, despite the pontoons, into the morning light on Auckland Harbour. Already, she was quite a sight. Kokomo was safely ensconced in the naval dockyard to remove the pontoons. Now the focus shifted to rig builders' southern spars for an exacting and difficult operation. While Auckland slept, all 220 feet of mast, plus the massive 70-foot boom, had to be transported through the dockside back streets to the water's edge.
It's not just the weight of it, but it's also the length and the width. It takes up the full width of the road, and it's 64 metres long, and you can't just turn something like that through 90 degrees easily. So we had to get the biggest crane in Auckland, I understand, the biggest mobile crane, to help us do that. Seeing the rig floating above the buildings as we had to turn it down 90 degrees around a corner between buildings, back on the truck and down to the wharf, that's got to be the hardest manoeuvre we've done.
Pretty exciting when you see 220 feet of carbon fibre mast going in, and a bit scary with the crane just holding it up and counterbalancing it.
It's a pretty exacting process getting the rig to sit down on the mast base, and yet she dropped right in place first time, and you can't ask much more than that.
The mast needs to go forward a little bit. You've got about 100.
I understand there is good luck involved with having a coin in the rig. A lot of ocean sailors will do the same, glue a coin into the rig.
30, 20, 10, bring it down, all the way we're in. Thanks, mate.
The whole package weighed about 11 tonnes in the boat, which is a great feat for a rig of that dimension.
It's you know, very exciting to see the mast step and the rigging starting to go on. It's amazing.
It's a real thrill. This morning I was pretty anxious as we were stepping the mast. Once the mast was in the boat, I felt this enormous sense of relief, and I think finally all the nerves and anxiety that was built up inside me started to dissipate, and I really got to stand back and enjoy looking at this magnificent thing that we've produced.
How's that feel, Lang? Good.
We've used a lot of America's Cup type technology in the mast with using high modulus carbon fibre, which is 52 million modulus carbon. We've used state-of-the-art nitronic rod rigging, The furlers have come from Germany, the standing riggings come from Germany, the other riggings come from the United States, the carbon came from the States. So it's been even though it was all built in New Zealand, it's a multinational effort just to get the mast built for this boat.
It took the Southern Spars team a year and 30,000 man-hours to complete the ultra-high-tech mast and boom assemblies. The mast is 63.5 metres long and weighs about 11.5 tonnes.
They've done a great job. Their experience in building America's Cup masts and racing yacht masts, ocean racing masts, all that technology has has contributed towards what we've built here in this mast.
Well, carbon fibre is fantastic when you look at its strength to weight ratio. To aluminium, it's especially high modulus carbon fibre. It's almost twice as stiff, say, to aluminium, but half the weight. So there are some big gains to be made.
The mast itself is 205 feet high, which is the maximum allowable height to get under the Bridge of the Americas in the Panama Canal, which is the restricting factor of going from the Atlantic to the Pacific without having to go around Cape Horn.
And for an unforgettable view, a powered crow's nest. Yes, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. From the top of the mast to a series of plasma monitor screens throughout the boat, spectacular pictures from remotely controlled masthead TV cameras. At the base of the mast, the tender bay can be partitioned off to provide a luxurious spa bath. North Sails in Auckland were chosen to design and fabricate Kokomo's impressive sail wardrobe. The Jenica alone, emblazoned with the Kokomo crest, is the size of more than 6 tennis courts.
You know, Lang's brief was just to do racing-orientated sails and make them last. And the detailing, we do all the best possible components we can do on the sail to make them stronger and keep them light. But yeah, Lang just wanted them perfect, so that's what we've tried to do.
This is the first of a yacht of this size that's used 3DL sails. So they were right behind me in wanting to at least introduce them onto a boat of this size. And to date, they've performed exceptionally well.
They do take load from head to clew, and the load's unbroken the whole way down the sail with the yards. It's an impressive concept, and it's pretty much second to none at the moment.
It's all operated by an impressive below-deck control system that includes custom high-speed winches specified by Lang, designed and built by Alloy Yachts. At the heart of the Kokomo control room, Alloy's sophisticated C-Touch operating system is linked to everything on board. That includes the engine room, dominated by its powerful 1200 horsepower Caterpillar diesel. There's also a high-capacity desalination plant, sewage treatment and extensive safety systems. The rakish high-tech cockpit is the Kokomo Nerve Centre. These state-of-the-art control systems mean less crew, just 10 on Kokomo instead of the 20 or 30 you'd have expected in years gone by. That equates to more space for the owners and their guests.
We've got a design that's quite unusual, different features from other yachts, and it does look very stunning when you actually see it. It's really produced something that's quite exceptional, I think, now.
Even in my work, I'm a great believer in simplicity. Is just, it's golden. It's, if you can keep something simple, get the maximum use out of your spaces. But one of the things that we also said about was keeping the boat very modern and elegant.
Lang said that he wanted a very contemporary collection of established artists and a lot of emerging artists, as well as Indigenous. It's got to have a rhythm through the boat so that it has a flow, and it's also got to hold the integrity of the design. I mean, the design is so impeccable that, you know, it's important that the art is so refined. So even using the emerging artists, they had to be the best of the emerging artists that were coming through.
The timber floor was, the dark wingay floor was something that, with the sycamore lighter coloured timber for the deck heads, was also a parameter. And I think the end result is, you know, we do have a very modern, elegant interior. It works extremely well, and it's just not complicated.
So you have this enormous social area that goes all the way from the bridge right back to the aft end of the aft cockpit. So you have indoor-outdoor living, but with the hydraulic windows that there are on the side of the cockpit, that you can actually have it's like having a saloon that's twice the size. Even in inclement weather or very hot weather where you want air conditioning, the whole area is air-conditioned. So it's a really wonderful social area where Lang & Sue will be entertaining their friends in grand style.
It's such a fantastic area for when you're sailing. We've got the outdoor seating and lots of room for whatever. Then it's just like walking into someone's home, I think. The bar and the lounges and so on, and the dining area. And then, of course, it's either upstairs to the flybridge or downstairs to the staterooms, and it's all simple. We wanted really simple Italian-styled, clean lines in the furniture, mainly using leather and suedes that are so easy to clean, and no fuss or clutter. So the glassware, crockery, everything is plain, white, simple.
The cutlery is CRICHTON from Paris in a very contemporary style. Glassware is Riedel, which is Austrian, with a huge selection of wine glasses because I know they're great wine connoisseurs. So on the table, it will all look absolutely stunning. The carpets in the guest area are all silk, very sumptuous, wonderful to walk on. The bedspreads are all silk in different designs, multi-pleat, diagonal pleat. All of the decorative cushions are silk. You walk into the en-suites, which are stunning, with beautiful white marble. The towels are French, sumptuous and comfortable.
Such a chic, refined, stylish piece of architecture and design.
We've got 5 cabins down there. There are 2 doubles, port and starboard. Very generous cabin sizes and en-suites. The day head, we've kept that off the main deck, and that's right opposite the stairs that take you down into the lower area. In behind that, we have 2 twin accommodation.
All up, depending on configuration, there's accommodation for up to 12 guests. The owner's accommodation, situated aft, is a massive 10 metres wide. It's a statement in contemporary style and elegant simplicity.
And on the starboard side, I've got my desk and all my computer equipment. And then stepping back up the port side into the ensuite, we have a very ample size ensuite area with bath, shower and twin vanity. It's pretty straightforward, simple, and you know, if I was doing a boat again, I'd keep that same layout.
The crisp white Carrara marble was especially chosen by Lang & Sue on a visit to Verona in Italy.
Well, we had in mind the sort of marble that we thought we would like, and we had a name for that. So we went to Italy to a huge marble place that has marble from all over the world, and he had the marble that we thought we wanted, but as we talked he said, no, that's not what you want, come and I'll show you, and he had this already picked out, and it was exactly what we had envisioned, really simple, almost white with just a very light vein, and it's just perfect.
Lang & Sue are very keen that the boat will operate cleanly and easily, because after all that's it helps them with their whole living and the staff that have to run the vessel.
Crew mess on this boat, which is where the crew members get to relax and eat their dinner, is actually a nicer space on this yacht than the owner's saloons that we used to build on boats 4 or 5 years ago, with its leather seats and teak table and coffee machine and microwave and a large television. So all the luxuries that one would expect in a house, the crew actually have in their crew mess.
Directly opposite, a fully equipped restaurant-style food preparation area. Once again, there's storage space to spare and exceptional amenity. And then, of course, there was the absolutely critical question of wine storage. How much, where, and how easy would it be to get to? And when the partying really gets going, a sliding partition between cockpit and saloon ensures the crew can at least get some rest.
Anybody who's on board will really appreciate the level of comfort, the quietness, the level of service that we get on board, and it's better than any 5-star hotel one could find anywhere in the world.